Welcome into the first ever show of the Hat Trick. There's 3 goals in a hat trick. There's 3 fellas that are going to be on your screen. Dominic Crissetto, Mr. Casey Wick, Mr. Sam Gillette, all joining us here right before playoff time of the NHL. It's the perfect time to start this show. AI for Biz, a sponsor for this one. And before we get going along too far, let's talk about how this playoff system is set up in general. We're going to jump right into it. Right now, we have divisions, 2 divisions in each conference. Each division gets 3 representatives. That gives you 6, and then there's 2 wild card spots. That has differed greatly from what historically the NHL has done, which has been, the 1 through 8 seeding. I'd like to see it kind of change back to the 1 through 8 seeding. I think for the casual viewer, the fan on the outside who doesn't pay attention to some of the regular season, the wild card seeding positioning is a little bit confusing. It makes it hard to see who you're going to match up against in the first round. And it's supposed to reward the fans with first round matchups that are really intense because you're getting at least one interdivision matchup guaranteed because of how they do it. But that also means sometimes that you're getting 2 teams that probably shouldn't match up in the first round going against each other. So you're kind of wiping out a good team from the very start. So there's my first contention on this hat trick episode. I don't know, Casey, what your thoughts are on how it's currently seated, how it used to be seated, which one you prefer, or if you want to go with something crazy and give us something new that you think would actually work as well.
Actually, I agree with you. For the casual viewer, I think it actually makes a lot more sense going back to how it used to be than how it is now. The way it is now, you almost have to be like an avid hockey fan. And while I think we all would like to be, with it being games during weeknights, sometimes it makes it a lot harder to be that avid fan as you can be on weekends with like football and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a good point. Multiple games a week, a lot more time to take up than the football aspect, like you said. It's kind of like fun to have that party on the weekend when Saturday or Sunday rolls around. It's a little harder when your team plays 3 or 4 games a week. Sam, you're down there in Dallas Stars territory for us. So tell us what you think about the playoff structure, what you've preferred in the past, what you like now, or if you've got some new plan for us to look at and try out.
I don't have a new plan, so to speak. I mean, it wasn't fixed before or broken before, so why fix it, right? I
Yep.
mean, under the current format, in theory, you can have the top 3 teams can be forced to play each other in the first or second round just because they're in the same division. I mean, you get rid of the 1 versus 16, like they do in the NCAA tournament and stuff. You get rid of the high seed actually having a an easier path to the championship. You take away their willingness to want to be good because they're going to have to play good early in the tournament anyway. So, I mean, is that going to make teams want to tank a little bit closer to the start of playoff time just so they can get more favorable seeding and not have to play the top 3 opponents in their division?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question because we've seen a lot of teams rest guys at the end now, at the end of the season. We've seen it just this year. And part of it is you just want to keep your superstars healthy when it comes playoff time. But part of it is, are we okay with not having the top seed? Do we like the matchup better if we're not number 1, right?
And you also have that broken record kind of feel for it with the fans really getting fatigued over seeing the same teams over and over again.
Yes. Yep. I mean, so Casey, let's go back to you real quick because you're going to see Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh in the first round, guaranteed at this point. There's a lot of intrigue, a lot of passion, a lot of pridefulness in the state, the Keystone State for that one. It is fun. It is enticing. But, you could possibly have had that matchup in the second round if the seeding was a little bit different, right? So it's interesting to see because it's not going to get any less as you get further on if these 2 teams meet up with each other. But what do you think about that matchup specifically? And does it matter which round it's in, I guess?
I mean, I think for the Pennsylvania pride as it is, the later into the playoffs it would go, it would generate more, attention within the state because that whole cross-state rivalry. I mean, it's a shame that the Steelers and Eagles don't play on a yearly basis, to build onto that. But in hockey, man, with the Flyers and the Penguins, there's some bad blood there. So when there's more on the line, the game's definitely more intense.
Yeah.
I mean, Philadelphia is always like at least over the last decade has really struggled with the Penguins. Um, I'm hoping that they can pull it off, but I mean, Penguins got a really deep roster. Um, Sid the Kid's been there and probably will be there until he retires. But um, let's hope. I mean, I've always been a fan of the Flyers for their the traditional like heavy defense, good goaltending, and then having a few good wings with a center on the first line to kind of run the game. But hockey seems to be trending away from defense and more towards offense.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Take us into your any last news or notes on the way we're doing the seating there?
Nope.
Because I think that's perfect for Casey to jump into his point next with how he finished that last one.
So I want to talk about how the game has changed, where the goalie's save percentage is actually teetering on the 90% mark, which is the lowest it's actually been since 1994. And to touch on that, also, you're seeing a lot less shots on goal. Looking up my stats here, but I think it's actually the lowest shots on goal, which is I think it's like 27.94, which is like also, 27.8. It's also like the lowest it's been in 30 years.
Wow.
So ESPN did a really good article on this actually 2 days ago, but they touched base on the betting of all things that is influencing the shots on goal. They're saying that because people with their parlays and stuff, like the shots on goal was actually being changed a day or two later. So
Ooh.
like the real stat is actually being manipulated to go along with betting. So that they're saying basically like there could be like 3 to 4 more shots on goal per game that's not being recorded. But still, I mean, you look at like late 90s, early 2000s, which is when I was really, really into the game. It was pretty common to have, in the 30s, some games, low 40s. I mean, they would, but now you see a lot more passing laterally across the ice. So is it harder for the goalies? Like, have the shooters gotten that much better, or is it just the fact that the goalies can't keep up with the change of the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sam.
whenever you look at the analytics of it all, coaching's kind of killed the any shot is a good shot mantra because of that modern analytics. You get more of that making the goalie move laterally to create an open net. So that might be playing into it as well. I mean, you see coaches that are increasingly willing to sacrifice defensive structure to create that high quality scoring chance, which I mean it leads to a more track style game, which
Fast breaks.
spreads the floor, opens it up, and puts your goalie on an island at times.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the game 100% rewards offensive defensemen much more than a defensive defenseman. Hurricanes guy here, Jacob Slavin, is one of the better defensive defensemen in the National Hockey League, was on Team USA when they won the gold medal, a stalwart on that defensive unit. He scored 1 goal all season for the Hurricanes on his NHL roster. He's not an offensive defenseman. And so when people talk about defensemen, they don't talk about him as much. And he's on a smaller market team here in Carolina. And so you hear Cale Makar, who's defensively going from end to end in Colorado, scoring a bunch of goals in that defensive position. There's some other guys in the league defensively that are scoring a lot more goals. It's like you said, that they're really being rewarded for escaping their defensive role and jumping into the offensive side of the game. It's kind of interesting. And then on the goalie side of things, like Casey talked about, it's interesting because goalies almost like to see shots more often and throughout the regular run of the game. When they go long stretches without seeing one, they're colder. They're not really positioned as well as they should be because they haven't seen a shot in 4 minutes or whatever it is. So it's interesting that, you know, the dynamics of one going up and one going down when we talk about goals and goal against average, it could be weirdly related in a way that makes sense. But when you first look at it, you're like, I don't see how we're taking less shots and goals against average is going up. Goalies can't be getting worse, right? Like technology, training, nutrition, all those things have far surpassed what they used to be years and years and years ago when these guys were playing with a slim piece of plastic on their face, right? The goalie pads did go down. Case, you brought that up earlier, like in our chat, but I don't know how much of your thought process is that the pads do play a larger part than people thought they were going to when they first changed that rule.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk, a few inches here and there on either side, I mean, if you watch any of these games where the puck's being moved laterally, that's critical. I mean, if the puck just misses a pad, if that pad's 2 inches wider on that side, it might hit it and glance off and just miss. So I think, I hate to say it, but the NHL, I think, has looked at basketball and the NFL and saw how well the ratings do for like the offense production going up versus the defensive games that sometimes people will consider boring because there's no scoring and they're not students of the game. They're just looking for something exciting to watch. So I think NHL is kind of going that entertainment route versus, the quality of the game per se.
It does make sense. Yeah. Can see that as well. Sam, I'm going to jump into your topic here.
Entertaining. They wanted him dead in the desert, left him for the vultures in a college barn with no ice to call their own. But look at him now. They didn't just move, they erupted. They call them the Mammoths now, and they're trampling everything in their path. You see the numbers? 43 wins. That ain't luck. That's a hostile takeover. Clayton Keller leading the charge with 86 points, proving he's the apex predator in the mountains now. And Dylan Gunther, 40 goals. He's not a prospect anymore. He's the damn executioner. And let's not forget Carol Vejmelka. Is that how you say it?
Vejmelka, yep. Vejmelka,
there we go. In the crease with 38 wins. He's a brick wall forged in ice with 90% save rate. They took the ashes of that Phoenix, built a fortress in the Delta Center. The desert was a grave, but Utah's where the Mammoths learn how to kill. The playoffs are coming, and the Mammoths are hungry.
And they have a Mammoth Zamboni now too. Have you seen that thing?
I saw that. Thing's awesome.
That is awesome. They took the old 2002 Salt Lake City Olympic Games. Is that what it was? I think it was.
Something like that.
They took pieces from that actual Zamboni and like restructured them into this mammoth. It doesn't actually clear the ice for those that haven't seen it yet, but go find a picture online because it's awesome. It looks really cool. I think they just put a bunch of people on it to ride around in it. But like Sam said, there's a ton of excitement in Utah for the Mammoth making their first ever playoff run. I don't know, Sam, it's kind of hard, right? Because they haven't really done it before, at least as this team in this place. But the excitement, what kind of run do you think they possibly could go on?
This just goes to show everybody who say the fans don't matter. Look at how they were in Arizona with a fan base that wouldn't drive out to watch them play. And then you look at how they are in Utah with a fan base that's excited about them, that's there for them, that wants to see them win. I mean, it's night and day. I mean, you went from a team that a college team could beat to a team that is in the playoffs and a legit contender at this point. So, I mean, no one saw it coming. I mean, what is it, 180 something days ago they were left for dead?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fan base, you need the talent on the ice. Yes, that's true anywhere. But it's the fan base that is the heartbeat of any team. Without the fans, Nobody wants to go play for a chair seat, an empty chair. I mean, yeah, go drink beer and go home. Well, I can do that at home for half the price, not have to get out and fight the traffic.
Less than half
So
the price these days too, with the gas too.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's I mean, Utah is showing right now what it means to have a fan base supporting your team and how much a difference that makes.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
I totally agree with you. It's the excitement of a young franchise, and it's not going to go away now that they've made a playoff run too. Like if you're talking, 3, 4, 5 years you haven't made a run, people are going to start to
Yeah.
lose some of that. But like you said, this is a young team that did perform fairly well in their first year. We got to also remember that when Vegas came into the league, they were gifted just about everything that helped make them good immediately.
Right.
That's not the same. They changed the rules so that Utah could not do that this time around.
Mhm.
They were not given the same tools that the Vegas Golden Knights were to get such a hot start and bring in a bunch of really, really talented players from other teams in the league. So you got to give them a lot of credit for building from within and doing it the right way, and positioning themselves really, really well here in, I think, just their second year in Utah, because the first year they were the Utah Hockey Club because they had no official mascot, and now they are the Mammoth, which is a great name. I got to get your thought process. We'll start with Casey and then go to Sam on this part. The thought process was that they would be the Yeti, right? And then it comes and it turns out that the Yeti cups, which this is not one, but it's the same style, right? It's the vacuum sealed double walled cup company that's got coolers and everything else. They actually brought like a suit against them, not to actually win money, just to say you can't use that because that's going to be brand confusion, which the NHL now has, just like most other leagues. You can put a brand sponsor on the jersey, on the helmet, everything. I think it would have been a brilliant brand
Oh yeah.
combination for the both of them. But they went with the Mammoth, and I still think that's a good choice because there's really nothing like that I know of in the sports world. So, Casey, would you have preferred the Yeti name, or do you like the Mammoth name, or did you think they might go some other direction?
I thought the Mammoth was a good idea. I mean, Yeti would be. I don't know. Like I feel like for me, maybe it's just like the Yeti thing would be like better for like an Alaskan team. Just
True.
somewhere. I mean, don't get me wrong. Utah gets a crap ton of snow. I mean, they're hosting the Winter Olympics. Was it 2034 again?
Think so.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think they nailed it. Like, the Yeti would have been like my number one choice, and like you said, with the brand correspondence, like they did an awesome team up there. But I mean, the Mammoth's just it's a very powerful name.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'll have to look into that. I think they did ask the fans. I think there was like a survey they sent out, and like they asked the fans to vote on like a certain list of names.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Sam, did you prefer the Yeti name? The one thing we do have to bring up is Colorado has like the footprint on the shoulder that kind of alludes to a Yeti because they're the avalanche,
Yeah.
the snow, like, So there was some people that thought like, even though it's not directly connected to the avalanche, they do have that little thing. I don't know. So for that reason, I don't know what your thought process is on how they finalized their name there.
Yeah, as an Avalanche fan growing up, uh, I actually started out following the Avalanche and then obviously the Dallas Stars because I live in Texas. Uh, they excuse me. I actually prefer the Mammoth, not because of the paw print or footprint or whatever print you want to call it, but if you're going to be a team, why would you want to be a mythical creature versus something that's a known powerhouse in prehistoric times?
True. It's a good point. And for those of you that were Power Ranger fans, the Black Ranger used to have the mammoth as his.
That's right, Mastodon.
Yeah, Mastodon. That's right. Oh man,
Wow.
those were the days,
Nerd.
fellas. Those were the days. Yeah, man, I was a big Power Rangers guy.
Same.
Yeah, I grew up with all that, so that's kind of like a random thing to kind of equate it to. But yeah, I do like it. I will say when the Flyers came in and brought Gritty in as like the actual mascot that shows up to games, such a brilliant. The Philly Fanatic was just genius. I know when that first came out, people thought the same thing about the Philly Fanatic as they did with Gritty. Like, this is silly. This doesn't make any sense. What is this? It's just fun. That's what it is. With the Mammoths mascot, it's not quite that same thing. It definitely looks more like, I don't know. I think it kind of looks a little bit more like an elephant. It has the tusk and everything, I guess, but it's definitely kind of silly looking compared to what I was hoping for. That's where that Zamboni thing comes in. That thing looks awesome. It looks terrifying. It looks dark and ominous, like you would think a mammoth would. The other thing looks like it's definitely built for kids, which is, there's an aspect that's what you want, right? I mean, it's not built for us as adults, but you still want something fun and enjoyable, and I think Gritty brings that. So I don't know what the mammoth does in the crowd at the games. Haven't really seen much of that stuff, but hopefully they're showboating and living it up and having everybody enjoy that experience as well. Because like you said, Sam, that's what keeps the people happy. If you got a whole family atmosphere where everybody can have fun, and plus the team's winning, that's going to be really, really, yeah, there it is. That thing is sweet.
Nice.
Now we just need Adam Sandler to ride it.
He's got to take his skate off and try and cut somebody first. He's the first guy to do that.
Yep. What was that? My Endless Love.
Yeah.
Dude's driving the Zamboni. Yep.
Lip syncing it.
Yep.
That was.
We need a recreation of that, like during like an intermission between periods or something.
Yeah, I think like we talked about Power Rangers, like Mighty Ducks is almost lost on this young generation now. It's like we gotta get these kids into Mighty Ducks, man.
Yeah.
I tried to check out that Disney episode or show when they like redid it. It doesn't hit the same, guys. It was pretty whack.
Still gets his windshield busted out though, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's easy to be biased, but like I feel like everything's so watered down nowadays. It doesn't hit the same like it used to.
Yeah. It just didn't have that feel to it. Like, I guess, I don't know, like inline hockey was becoming a bigger thing when Mighty Ducks hit. So it was so much more of that, like, hey, you don't have to have ice. You can still be into hockey type of thing. And I feel like now that's really not. Ice hockey seems to maybe be taking a little bit bigger step as a sport, but I don't feel like roller hockey's any bigger than it used to be. In fact, it's probably smaller than it's ever been.
Yeah, because I don't think kids play outside as much as they used to. We used to like, be punishment for us to come inside. Now it's like punishment to send them outside.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're playing more NHL or Chell, as the kids call it these days, on Xbox and PlayStation and everything else. Casey knows all about that with River Shark Gaming. Are you a hockey guy? You play much hockey on the gaming?
I used to, but sadly, as you get older and you get more responsibilities, your timing kind of goes away from that. But I used to be like when EA Sports was big back in like the early 2000s. Every year it was college football, Madden, NCAA March Madness was a thing, then NBA Live, and then they did have NHL, and I was always a big fan because in all the college games you could like export, you could create your player, and you could draft him. So it was awesome. Like you could like, and then like, did you play any of the college baseball game that they had back in the day, Dom?
I did. I love that game, but I never owned it. I only had a friend who had it, and I kick myself for not having owned it so that I might still have it these days. Like that'd be kind of a cool game to go back and play.
Yeah, I think I probably still have it somewhere. But like it was just, I don't know, like college sports to me, like and be able to take your player like from college into the pros is just from like a gamer aspect. That was always what I was into. But like I don't know, maybe it's just like that I've gotten older. I don't feel the same about like the modern sports video games. I feel like they lose a little bit of the immersion with like Madden always has glitches that are like hysterically bad. Right. You know what I mean? Like you'll try to throw the ball at the last minute. Next thing you know, it goes like 60 yards behind you and the computer gets it for a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Like that never happens.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I agree. Gotten a little worse. Quality wise has gotten a little worse, but yeah, this This has been a fun first episode. I want to give Sam a chance here to shout anything else he wants to talk about or anything else he wants to say on any of these topics.
All right. Stop losing time and money to busy work. In a free AI business audit call, we'll identify the top 3 bottlenecks in your business and show you exactly how AI can fix them. Book a free AI business audit at aiforbiz.com. That's AI for biz, BIZZ.com. And Dom, Casey, thanks for joining us today. I mean, this has been fun. We need to do it more
Absolutely.
often.
Yeah. Hey, it's the best time to do it because playoff hockey is here. It's going to be fast. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
So
All
this time
right.
of year-
Well, until next week, we'll weekly, guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You down? Sweet.
Yeah.
Down.
We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.